Hey everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to do just a little different video. You'll see in front of you, I got a bunch of old raw cards. These are kind of the cards that got me started back in the collecting eras. It's the first introduction I had to vintage cards. These were gifted to me as a child in 1988 for my 12th birthday by a couple of brothers that went to our church. And I still have them today. I still treasure them. And I love my PSA graded collection. I've been doing a lot of videos on those lately. But it's great to just hold it and have a connection with some old cardboard. So I'm just going to go through and show you some of these today. And I might give you my thoughts on some other things in the hobby that's going on. But some cool stuff, like primarily the stuff is going to be from the 70s. But there's a couple of cool commons. Love these All-Star Rookie Trophy cards. So I've got a couple of these: Del Unser, Hector Torres, Dave Marshall. Richie Allen is a guy that could be a Hall of Famer here in the next coming years. A lot of people thought he would get selected by the Veterans Committee this year. A couple of Jerry Koosman. You know, Jerry Koosman, back in the day, this was the card you wanted. You didn't want the Nolan Ryan 69 as a kid. You wanted the Koosman because he was the new ace of the staff. Him and Tom Seaver were the young pitchers that really had the most promise, right? And Nolan Ryan was kind of like a third wheel, if you will. But Koosman had a great career. Not as well as Seaver, and obviously not as well as Ryan. But these are kind of cool cards from his early playing days. Since I have the Nolan Ryan rookie with him on it, I guess I have his first three cards. Jim Kaat, just recently announced to the Hall of Fame. And it's funny, you know, I look at a guy like Jim Kaat versus Jim Bunning, right? Jim Bunning's cards are not near, well, like his rookie card, and how much more valuable Jim Kaat's rookie card just shot through the roof, you know, once he was announced. And then Jim Bunning, just because he's already been in the Hall of Fame, he's passed away, it's like nobody really cares. Don Sutton, the 71s are tough. A nice Phil Necro, 71. Got some leaders cards with Hall of Fame. Reggie Jackson on there. Norm Cash is on there, although not a Hall of Famer. Tom Seaver, Fergie Jenkins. Tom Seaver on that one. Another new Hall of Famer, relatively speaking, Ted Simmons. Tony Perez. Dave Concepcion. Is Concepcion a Hall of Famer? Somebody correct me if I'm wrong on that. Luis Aparicio. This is late in his career. This is Bert Byleven's second-year card. Jim Hunter, Killebrew, Joe Morgan, the Boyhood Photos of the Stars with Tom Seaver. That's a cool one. Here's a couple World Series cards commemorating the 71 series between the Pirates and the Baltimore Orioles. Shows Brooks Robinson there. There's one with Roberto Clemente on it. On some 73s, a Don Sutton. These cards just have a feel, man. They just have a very soft feel. And I love slab cards, but there's something about just holding an actual piece of history in your fingertips. That Jim Hunter. And just look at the centering. Like, even if this was packed fresh, it wouldn't be a very valuable card. And it's good to have all these collections, because when you're dealing primarily with PSA graded cards, by 11 third year, you tend to think that they're all, like, everything that came out of the pack was a 7 or an 8, and it wasn't, man. It was a hit or miss back then. And, you know, a card that's centered like this, and then all of a sudden now, this Joe Morgan, which is known for poor centering. You know, at one point, this was a pack fresh in the collection of the guys who gave it to me, and you can just see kind of the issues it's having here. This is one of the first vintage cards I ever bought out of my first card show in 1987. It's got a surface crease on that. That's just from me as a kid. You know, not doing a very good job of taking care of my cards. Here's a Tony Perez. Jim Palmer, Boyhood Photos of the Stars. Steve Carlton. Another Carlton rookie he shares with Gaylord Perry. 27 wins Carlton had in 72. That's pretty sweet. Here's a Johnny Bench and Dick Allen home run leaders. That'd be cool if Dick did make the Hall of Fame. There's another Blyleven. Love that card of Juan Marichal with a high leg kick. I mean, that's quintessential cool right there. Tony Perez. And I don't have a Tony Perez collection, but I've got this Necro graded. Don't have this Jim Hunter card graded. That's a cool card. Here's an Aparicio. These were, the reason I bought a lot of these cards, like I have this Joe Morgan at 8, it was because I have these cards raw. It was one of the driving forces for me to go out and get them in a nice grade. But it's not necessary. Like if you're a beginning collector, this is a good place to start. Find a beat up old collection and just add these cards. I mean, I get enjoyment looking over these. Just like I just love to look at these, and look at the here on the back All-Star Game. It's got some information on it. It's part of history, right? To be able to hold it, and I'm not like super concerned about the condition of these cards. Here's a Joe Torre from 75. I've got 2 of these Jim Hunters from 75. Cool green card. The Reds, Tony Perez, first baseman, 75 card. This leaders card with Dick Allen again. Noticing some Dick Allen in some of these leaders cards. He was a pretty dominant player in the 70s. Mike Schmidt. Don Sutton. Blyleven, I think this is a 76. Yeah, 76. And look at it. It's all got, it's got some serious issues. This does not need to be slabbed ever. Here we are, victory leaders with Tom Seaver. Another Dick Allen card. Love the 76 set. Here's a cool Rice second-year card with his, actually his first individual player card, if you will, with the Topps Rookie Cup. Billy Williams, another guy that's really underappreciated because he made the Hall years ago, and now his card's just, like if you're looking for a Hall of Fame hitter, that's a good one to collect. That's prices aren't overblown. Gossage. Looks like a spring training shot for Fergie Jenkins. Jim Hunter. Willie Stargell. I've got 3 of these Joe Torres from 76. 1, 2, 3. There is a softness to these cards. Here's now a Jim Cott traded card. Traded to the Phillies. This is one of my favorite cards of the era. The bubblegum blowing championships. On the back, it shows the actual competition, who is in it, and it gives the brackets. That is so cool. That's a cool card. This card in a high grade is really blown up, but hey, cool, man. This card would never have graded well out of the pack back in 77 because the centering is off. Another Joe Torre with a nice surface crease in it. Ted Simmons card. Here's a Bruce Sutter rookie card. Looks like a rat's been chewing on the corner of that. But just awesome, man. That's just the Phil Niekro. Gossage. Thurman Munson, who's not in the Hall of Fame for some unknown reason. Bet he gets there someday. He deserves to be in there. Johnny Bench, the best catcher of the 70s, probably in the National League. This Reggie Jackson's been well loved. You can tell all the creases in it. Tony Perez. I love this Tony Perez with him like showing that bat. And you can see the little indentation on the bat. That's a cool card. Don Sutton. All right, now we're on to some leaders cards. Raleigh Fingers. This is 1978. Parker and Carew. Carlton, Jim Palmer amongst those. Jim Palmer. That cool All-Star Cup. Boy, I got so many of these to go to. Fergie, Jim Rice, Don Sutton, Willie Stargell, Tony Perez, 2 Concepcions, Fingers, Niekro, Hunter, Morgan, Winfield, cool catcher cards of Munson and Gary Carter. I like that Carter card. Now this guy, a new Hall of Famer. A couple Lou Brocks from the 78 set right there. Now we're on some 79s. I'll just go through these quick. Winfield, Carlton, Rice, another Lou Brock, a Johnny Bench, and a Yastrzemski. This is the stuff I grew up on, man. Seaver, Joe Morgan, Jim Hunter, Reggie Jackson, Palmer, Raleigh Fingers, another Stargell. So I got doubles of stuff. Then I'm still going in the 80s, the last year of quote-unquote vintage. Morgans, some Johnny Bench, Trammell, Jack Morris, Gary Carter, Jim Rice, Carlton. This cool, one of my favorite cards from the 80s set, this highlight, both guys, Yaz and Brock, getting the 3,000th hit. Cool Winfield, Carew, another Carew, Fergie Jenkins, Ted Simmons, Kirk Gibson, rookie from 81, Mike Schmidt, Fergie, Rice, Carter, Jackson, Carlton, Schmidt, Jack Morris, Johnny Bench. Now we're on to 82. Some leaders with Seaver, Schmidt, Eddie Murray, Carlton. These are a little better grades. These are probably near mint sevens. They were taken care of a little better. The guys that gave them to me were a little bit older when they started buying these, probably in their teenage years. So these cards are in okay shape. And really, there wasn't a whole lot of value with these even until a few years ago. I mean, unless you had them in ultra high grade. That's a nice bench, nice Seaver, nice Necro, Kent Herbeck rookie, Carew. Dale Murphy's in there. He's not a Hall of Famer. Jim Rice, Tim Raines, Palmer, Joe Morgan late in his career, Carter, Reggie Jackson, Rolly Fingers. A bunch of these in-action cards they did. Yastrzemski. I mean, they got a ton of Hall of Famers in here. Johnny Bench, Carew, Seaver, Jack Morris, All-Star, Stargell, Carew, Jackson, Seaver, Winfield, Schmidt. On to 83, Raines, Carlton, Dawson, Mike Schmidt. 84, Palmer, Winfield, Jenkins, Murray, Schmidt. A couple of leaders with a bunch of Hall of Famers. A lot of Hall of Famers not leader. Phil Necro, Tony Gwynn. Now we're looking at some of the new things like Fleer, 81 with Hall of Famers. 82, Fleer. Mike Schmidt showing off his home run king. Molitor. Philly's finest with Schmidt, Lonnie Smith, Steve Carlton. Early Diamond Kings of Johnny Bench, Steve Garvey, Necro, Carlton again, Murphy, Garvey, Parker, Dave Stewart, Rod Carew, Fingers, Viola, rookie, Carlton, couple of 85s, Carter, Rose, and then some of the ones too that are more of along the lines of guys I collect a lot. I like this old Willie McCovey Juan Marichal card in front of the batting cage. It's got a nice big crease. Like, I'm not worried about the grade on that card or the condition of it. I'm not even sleeving that. A 75 McCovey. This one's all creased up. Love it. Somebody who loved Willie McCovey back in the day. Here we go, another McCovey. 78s, 79, his 80, his last Topps card 80, and a 78 3D. Like, the back is all mangled up. A 77, I don't even know why that's in a sleeve. These probably shouldn't be in sleeves. 77 Rose, 78, 81. This one's not in bad shape. It's 82, 82 All-Star, 82 in action, 82 highlights. So you had a couple cards, 84 leaders card. And then, so those are from the childhood collection. Another one cool thing, if you're still sticking with me, I'll show you. I bought the whole set from the 77 top sticker set. And so these are actually pretty high grade. Two of the cards were graded. They were both graded near mint to mid 8. So I'm just looking at these. They're in really good shape. These are grade worthy. And I thought, boy, maybe I should pull these out as I was going through my collections. I got a lot of Hall of Famers. Winfield, Brett, Carew, Bert Blyleven, Lou Brock, Steve Carlton. This is the Fidrich rookie year. Nice Reggie Jackson. That one's nice centering. Jim Hunter, Steve Garvey, Joe Morgan, Munson. I've got this one already graded. Schmidt, Perez, Palmer, Ted Simmons. Like that Tom Seaver. It's a little off center left to right. The Stargell, the Don Sutton. I've got this one already graded. Yastrzemski and Bench. So a lot of cool Hall of Famers. I have the whole set. I bought it back in 2012. I remember fondly doing that. But that's some cool stuff. The hobby itself, it's very different than when I first collected. And I think it's kind of discouraging for me to see. I don't know why, but it is just to see the way things are going with... I'm not a fan of NFTs. I'm not a fan of the new stuff like this Zero Cool and this V Friends. I mean, it's like, here I've created my own special DB Friends Sucker Hype Beast card 1 of 1. So just so you know, I spent a total of about 3 minutes drawing that image. And for what it's worth, nothing. That's the whole point. It's like, how silly is that to me? It's as silly as me drawing this and expecting someone to pay good money for my thing. I'm no artist, and but there's just a lot of hype going on, a lot of hype. Don't forget your roots. Don't forget the stuff that brought you into the hobby that'll keep you. I mean, these are kids' toys. you know what? They weren't meant to be like back then in the day, you probably would have given this to your friend, just give it to him, and maybe it ended up in his spokes. But there was no real value, and that's why when these created, they weren't intended to have great value, and that's why they are valuable. Anything that's created solely to create value immediately is very leery. I'm very leery of it. So for those of you out there that are fans of this, I hope you enjoyed this video. Once again, everyone, I appreciate your posts, your comments, and I'll talk to you again soon.